ready to get back behind the bench, away at least for a few hours from the heartache caused by his daughter's diagnosis of cancer. The good news is that Mary Beth Blaze is expected to make a full recovery. That means for Dean Blaze, the man with 2 NCAA titles in his hip pocket, he can concentrate on doing what he does best. This one has all the makings of a heavyweight title fight, and it's all next on MSC. When they meet, it's big. When they meet and first place is on the line, it's huge. The Golden Gophers and the Fighting Sioux live from Mariucci Arena on MSC. And hello again, everyone. Along with Reed Larson, I'm Frank Mazzacco. As big as this game is, as you can tell, there is a real-life issue that is hanging above the arena tonight, and that is our good wishes going out to Mary Beth Blaze, the 16-year-old daughter of North Dakota coach Dean Blaze, diagnosed with a rare form of cancer just around New Year's weekend. Dean is in good spirits. We're told Mary Beth is also in good spirits, and that's good news as she's expected to recover. Dean was in rare form today, actually quite humorous before a packed crowd at Jack's Cafe.
Well, 200 people, and they haven't had that kind of crowd for quite some time, and this is a big rivalry, and we've been waiting for this. Back in November, they were fighting for those positions, and here we are again, and Dean's got probably just a little bit of relief, and we wish him all the best with him and his daughter, and I guess you really know until it hits home, close to home like that, so hopefully that thing has real positive results.
And the outpouring from the hockey community to the Blaze family, we know, has been a big help to Dean, his wife, and to his family. All right, how close is it in the WCHA? Razor thin, 4 teams separated by just 1 point. That's right, 4 teams separated by a point. Colorado College, St. Cloud, Minnesota tied up with 20 points, each within 1 of the league-leading North Dakota Fighting Sioux. And indeed, the Gophers certainly hoping for a sweep, something they haven't done for quite a while. As a matter of fact, they haven't even beaten the Fighting Sioux here since 1997. A couple of key defensemen, offensive-minded, and you like those kind, don't you, Reed?
Well, we sure do. They're a lot of fun to watch, and both Jordan Leopold and Travis Roach are very similar. Big leaders on the team, very good with the puck. I think Travis has a little more of a physical style, maybe shoots a little more than Jordan, but Jordan is smooth. He makes those breakout passes seem so effortless, and both guys are, I'm sure, being watched tonight by many NHL scouts.
And there you saw just 1 of 7 assists against the Golden Gophers earlier this year. 6 of those coming in 1 game. That helps vault Travis Roach to the top of the scoring pile among defensemen in the WCHA, and right behind him, Minnesota's Jordan Leopold. Well, there'll be some bad news lineup-wise for the Golden Gophers. A key member will be out of the lineup. For that update, here's our Pat Nicoletti.
Well, thanks, Frank, and you're right. Last week's WCHA Player of the Week, Johnny Pohl, out for this weekend series. His second leading scorer on the team, and he's a big loss for him, no question about it. He got hit by a Dylan Mill shot. We think it's a chip bone in his ankle, but it's going to be tough for the Gophers without him in the lineup this weekend. He kills penalties. He plays the power play. He's on a 5-on-5, plays a lot of hockey for this Golden Gopher hockey team, and he's going to be sorely missed this weekend.
Pat, also will be Nick Angel, who separated his shoulder in our less televised game. He did not make the trip to Alaska Anchorage. Nick Angel will be out of the lineup as well. Our Dodge Challenge will be coming your way, and then our face-off on MSC. The magnificent rodent himself, or herself, Goldie Gopher, just broke somebody's stick. That'll cost him $20.
Better get aluminum. All kinds of materials. You can pick the wrong one now. I think wood's going out, Frank. All the graphite, boron, aluminum.
Well, Carl Gehring is one guy to see that broken stick. That's the starting goaltender, a senior. And when you're as good as he is, when you're as good as Jeff Panzer is, it seems like they've been 8-year students, not 4-year students.
Played with Eric on that Apple Valley State High School team, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that was quite a game.
Quite a game. And the man at the other end really sharpened his game. He's got a great record at 14-5-2. But Don Lucia through the first half of the season said Adam Hauser has not yet been sharp. He was sharp, gave up just 2 goals up at Alaska Anchorage last weekend in the sweep of the Seawolves there in some very tough going. But Adam Hauser was on his A game.
And this is the time of the year that the Gophers really took off last year, and I think everybody's hoping and anticipating the same thing happens again. And they had the break is over, the holidays are over. They've worked hard. They got their young fellows back from the junior nationals, and right in time to meet North Dakota at home here. So this is everybody's buzzing.
You had a look at Dean Blaze, Minnesota class of 77. Here's Don Lucia, Notre Dame class of, I forgot, 85, I think. But it is Notre Dame. They're ready to go. We're ready to go. Northland Ford will give you a look at the series history. The Gophers holding a substantial edge there, but the Sioux have won 7 of the last 10. Minnesota has not won in their last 5 home games against the Fighting Sioux.
Yeah, now they will. We put that, I got the upside down Texas Longhorn going for the burning incense.
Yeah, just don't put your rally cap on. We are underway. And the Fighting Sioux with Ryan Beta out at center ice, fires it to the middle line. Matt Kowalska there to intercept. Jeff Panzer is out at center ice on this line, number 17. He's the leading scorer in the WCHA. Brian Lundbaum there on the forecheck, back behind the Minnesota net, number 2. And the third member of this line, Ryan Beta, is number 3. The top 3 scorers in the league out on the ice, as is the top scoring defenseman in Travis Roach. They've got a lot of firepower. Here's Beta back to pick up the puck. We're just 44 seconds in. Beta's pass to center, and then from center ice it is dumped in by Tim Scarparoo. Dylan Mills drives it around. Nice catch by Troy Riddle. Over to Jeff Tate, both back from the World Junior Tournament. Long shot comes off a skate and it comes into the corner. Here's Riddle shooting, and he shot it wide. Paul Martin, the third member of the Gophers, hustles over the puck. Third member to be out with the national junior team at that World Tournament. So these guys will be getting their hockey legs back, and a big high hit by Dylan Mills. That's about as high a hit as I've ever seen Dylan Mills throw, and he got Jason Noterman pretty good, and Noterman with a little payback there in the left wing corner. Troy Riddle to Grant Patulli, and the Grand Forks native shoots it in. Riddle back behind the net and out of the far corner. Leaves it for Patulli, and Patulli, who picked up 2 goals in the November series up at Grand Forks, shoots it around, and Noterman crosses center, drives it into Minnesota territory, and now the Fighting Sioux making a change as we come up on 2 minutes without a whistle. Matt Linebeck was tripped up at center, and play goes on. Here's Roach with the puck. He lays it high to center ice. It comes bouncing down. Murphy tipped it. Here's Murphy again, centering it. That's broken up by Tharp. Linebeck after the loose puck, and the Gophers bring it 4 men to center. Linebeck hits the line, takes a big hit check on the far side. He was labeled pretty good by David Hale. And Hale is the 4th player on the ice here tonight, back from the World Junior Tournament. Hale wearing number 4. Here's a break on the far side, a shot to goal by David Lundbaum, the freshman, and the Fighting Sioux have a 1-0 lead.
Gotta watch those Lundbaum brothers from Mosul.
They were torrid back in November, and boy, David, maybe let his brother Brian be the stealth bomber, and he comes in on the right wing and fires from long range.
Well, we've got basically a 3, well, it was a 3-on-3, and it looks like the right wing was just left alone crossing the blue line here, and one of the Gopher backcheckers just kind of led up and hoping the defenseman could recuperate and come over, but you got to go back hard all the way to the net on those plays. Adam didn't have a shot until that very first one, and it's tough to get into the game.
Paul Murphy gets 1 assist, David Hale the other. And the Fighting Sioux, when they score first this season, have won 9 of the 14 games. At DeMarkey playing it in, but it's rejected right back out at center. And here's Jordan Leopold. Well, that is exactly what North Dakota would like to do, get the crowd out of this game, and they did it in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. They have a 1-0 lead, and there's a little bit of joy on that bench right now. Quick start. We did not have a whistle on 2 minutes and 20 until 2:20. And here's Adam Hauser right from that face-off, having to make a key save. Pat Micheletti is at ice level for an update.
Well, thanks, Frank. Had a chance to talk to both coaches before the game, and they both said basically the same thing. They want to run 4 lines, and they want to see their teams play with emotion. They feel the team that plays with the more emotion is going to win this series. Frank?
Well, I would say both teams have answered the bell here, at least early on. I think the emotion is there. And so that would normally be even, but the Gophers had a couple of lapses there. Reed, you're talking about someone covering the winger coming in, and perhaps Adam Hauser went down a little bit early on that shot.
Well, yeah, the guys put it up high on the short side, and you want to, if you're going to make them score, make them shoot to the far side off the post or whatever. But again, I think the Gopher wing could have maybe caught that man. It looked like he kind of gave up and glided a little bit. Not going to look good on the film, Frank.
Unless this game turns around and Gophers win it, and then some of those sins, some are forgiven. Puck comes right up the middle. Stuart Sinden takes it away. Sinden a month ago had a hat trick against Quinnipiac. Matt Kowalska goes after the puck, takes it away from Beta, and then DeMarchi had a little problem with it. Here's Stuart Sinden again. Hits the line, drops it back. Miskovich lets it go. We're tied at 1.
Some guys just have their favorite teams. Aaron Miskovich has always scored against North Dakota. Great little drop pass. We'll watch the replay here shortly. Great shot.
Aaron Miskovich has probably a pretty low shooting percentage overall in his career, but he has been sniping him here in the last couple of games. And this was a sweet shot, too.
Stuart Sinden comes in, isolates the 2 defensemen, drops. Again, a back checker. Another forward involved. Kind of stopped, was reaching, really didn't follow through skating, and looks like it's the 5-hole right between the legs.
There's his career numbers against the Fighting Sioux in 16 games as he picks up his 6th goal. And believe it or not, he is the Gophers' current leading scorer against the Fighting Sioux. Up on the far side of the rink, they chip it in. It's off DeMarchi's skate. Now Scarperud, puck was on end. He was knocked down. The long shot from the line goes high, and it comes down off the glass. Puck shot around on the net. DeMarchi goes after it. And as Anthony goes after the puck, there's DeMarchi again. And now Jeff Tape leads it back, and Jordan Leopold. And those 2 goals were quick. The span of 1 minute, 37 seconds. We're tied. Oh, Riddle, the pass just out of his reach, and he's taken to the corner hard by Kevin Spiewak. Martin. And from center, they dump it in. Knocked out of the air by Linebeck. Good feed to Westrom. Wrist shot rising high and rolls up on the back of the net. I thought we were going to get a whistle there, but apparently they got it off in a hurry, and play goes on. Westrom tries to make the move, and as he shoots, it was knocked down. That's Carl Gehring's stick caught in the net back there. But he just barely did get it out. There's Westrom, trapped at center. Hale takes it away, brings it in, and the North Dakota defenseman shoots it behind the net. Wes Dory slips the check of Clark. But then he's hit hard by Paul Martin. And actually, that was Joe Martin over there throwing that hit. Laid him out pretty good. Westrom with the puck. And Minnesota's leading scorer, Eric Westrom, does a little dance at the line, and then he had it stripped off his stick. There's Murphy to bring it in. And as they dump it in, that's Paul Martin with the puck for the Gophers. Now to Dylan Mills. Ahead to John Weibel, but he just barely got away from that check from Tyler Palmasino. Palmasino to bring it in. Blasted off the puck by Mills. What a check by Dylan Mills. And a backhand shot was tipped back behind the cage. As they jam up for it, it comes free. Pat O'Leary for the Fighting Sioux in the corner with Minnesota's Paul Martin. And Dylan Mills has his man jammed up on the rail. Weibel's outlet pass hit a skate and comes back. O'Leary to get it for North Dakota, and he backhands it in. Boy, that was a grinding shift. Most of it played along the rail. The outlet pass by Mills is picked off and brought back in by Lineweber. He drops it in the slot. It's taken away by Minnesota's Pat O'Leary. Now to center right for Wendell coming in. Lines it up, fake, moves it, shooting! And Carl Gehringer makes the save, and he holds on. Only 6 shots in this game, but we're tied at 1, and Aaron Miskovich has tied it with the second of the 2 goals.
The ball comes back to Gill, swings to the outside, cuts back on a beautiful cutback.
50 years of dreams. 50 years of excitement. 50 years of success.
15, put in and into the end zone.
Call the Williams Fund.
There's no question Jeff Panzer makes our Ream team who's hot for tonight. Look at his career numbers against the Gophers, just 14 games, 20 points.
And he's right from Grand Forks, North Dakota. Yeah, he's
what
got
an outstanding career.
Yeah, he seems like he's been around forever.
Don Lucia let a little word slip today at the luncheon. Fun, or a couple of words. Fun to watch. He says, you know, I have to admit it. He says he's one of those guys that's fun to watch play because he is working not only every game, but he's working every shift. There's a lot of guys, maybe 34th liners, that'll play like that. Sometimes the first line guys don't always come out and play as hard as a guy like Jeff Panzer does, or as Jeff Panzer flat out just does.
Well, I think, too, Frank, what you're saying is a lot of these talented players, they let the muckers and the grinders along the boards go get the puck for him and kind of hang out front and take the gravy. But Jeff, even for his size, he works along the boards. He works awfully hard. Definitely leads by example.
Yeah. He'll play it tough. He'll play it tough. You need some finesse. He's got the finesse. And as you can see, he's got the points to go along with it, too. 48 in his career, actually in the season.
He's the second in the nation with points per game percentage.
Matt Kowalska comes in for this face-off against Lundholm. Ryan. Top line out there for the Fighting Sioux. Here's Beta. Pass was deflected. It comes back to Miskovich. Brings it to center, then lost control. And then it's dumped right back in by the sophomore Chris Lineweber, who is out of Calgary. And a hit behind it by Beta. Pass by Lundholm, hit a skate. Beta is knotted up by Leopold. DeMarchi goes after a loose puck. Panzer knocks it away from him. Kowalska takes a hit from Lundholm in the corner. And there's not much room to maneuver. Up the middle for Beta. And that puck was fluttering as he shot. And then it fluttered in on Hauser. Delayed penalty coming up on Beta. He may have slashed Leopold. It's dumped in. Gehring will play the puck. And the first power play of this game will go to the Golden Gophers. Let's take a look now at our Let's Play Hockey Squirt Team of the Week. They are the Wayzata Maroon C team. For your chance to be featured in a Gopher telecast and as well as the Let's Play Hockey magazine, send your team's photo to MSC at 90 South 11th Street. We'll have a chance to be featured on websites. The team will also get some t-shirts. And here is a look as Leopold rushed it up ice. Out. Off the knuckles.
Yeah, probably hurt. Wasn't too bad, but again, we'll take it. Let's see if our nation-leading power play percentage can take effect here and get up on North Dakota. When earlier you get up on these guys and stay there, better off you are.
There's the numbers Reed's talking about. 29% for the Gophers, 31 of 108. And a very good job on the kill as well for the Fighting Sioux. Draw won by Patulny. Mills and Leopold are on the points. Here's Westrom after it. But the Gophers turn the puck over. Leopold knocked the clearing attempt by Roach down, and here's Westrom again. So it's Westrom, Patulny, and Matt Linebeck is up on this front line where John Pohl would normally be. The Pohl is out with a bad ankle. It's likely to be a chipped bone in his ankle. As Pat Micheletti told us just before the game started, there's a shot from Dylan Mills that hit him in. Now Westrom still on the power play, but they can't control. Hale tried to get rid of it, but I think he hit the ref. And the puck goes straight up in the air. Hale gets it right back and shoots it down the rink. Must have caught the ref down at him right in the skates. Leopold whacks it around. Lineback after the puck. They let it go through. This is Mills through the screen. The shot just wide. What did Dillon get rid of that one on a nice motion? And Leopold can't control. Short-handed, Panzer brings it up ice with Lundbohm. Lundbohm up the middle. A score! You can see that coming from center ice.
Well, there was a little struggle on the offensive blue line, and again, you know, when guys get free, you got people messing with it on your offensive blue line. You got to cover up. You got a little pressure there, and I think Jordan got caught behind. They're very, very quick up front. As you can see, they're fighting along the boards. We had a defenseman pinching, which he should do when you're killing when you're on the power play, but need some people backing you up.
We've had 3 goals scored in this game. They've all been scored from a range of about 30 feet or so.
Well, it looked like it went between both Dylan Mills' legs and Adam Hauser.
That one's certainly a tougher shot for Adam Hauser than the first one, but Brian Lundholm gets his 21st of the year at 9:06. So there will be only one assist, and that will be to Mr. Panzer. Jeff Panzer gets the 33rd assist of the season, and now just a point away from the 50 mark. And it's offside at the blue line, and right now the Gophers are in a bit of a slump here. 43 seconds on this power play, and I don't think they've had much of a chance. One shot on goal is all they've had.
Well, up until this power play, they were, you know, initiating the body. You know, what we've been talking about all year long is, you know, that body contact has been missing, and they came out hitting North Dakota and hitting them effectively, and they were getting somewhere. But now on the power play, you know, you still have to hit. You can still hit on the power play. It's legal.
Martin brings it in. And as he took a whack, he shot it in. Riddle goes after the puck. That allows Kowalski to get to it. To the blue line. Cave, slap shot. Gary the save. Rebound. Kowalski fans. And then it was kicked off his stick at the last second. And now the race for the puck at center. Spiewak after it. And he pushes it deep into the zone. Martin. Riddle. Trying to turn the defender around. At the line, Martin. And a whistle. Somebody in the crease. Pat O'Leary, apparently. And they're going to face it off out at center. O'Leary claiming that he was pushed in, but of course that's the obvious claim as soon as that whistle goes.
Not many shots on that power play, not like the Gophers.
It's just that second goal, that shorthanded goal, just a psychological downer here. You can feel that the team has sagged a bit. Here's Leopold. Senden brings it in. Penalty now to Beta is over. He steps on. And with the Fighting Sioux holding a 2-1 lead, we're back to full and equal strength. Here comes Lundbohm. Brings it in. It's a long shot off. Hauser knocks it down. Lundbohm tied up by Leopold. Miskovich comes in to throw a check into Panzer. And now Leopold knocks it around, but no one's there. But Trevor Hammer had a little problem with it. Beta, good job to keep it in. Here's Miskovich. 2-on-2 with Senden, who stays onside. And good defense there by both Hammer and Chris Lineweber. The Gophers, no shot whatsoever. Hammer with an outlet pass. Now Wes Dory throws it too far on the left side, but they're going to wave it off as Joe Martin goes back to touch the puck. We passed the halfway point of period number 1. The Fighting Sioux have a 2-1 lead, and they've also outshot Minnesota 7-4. Kept in by Tharp, he dumps it in. O'Leary and Hammer go after it. Now Eric Wendell kicks it free. Wendell trying to get away from the backhand, and as it comes up the middle, Murphy clears it away. Wes Dory hustles it to center. Dory bringing it in, trying to get around Tharp. Nothing doing, good job by Tharp. Back at the line for Roach. That shot comes all the way through. There'll be a penalty away from the puck here as Hale and Wendell go after it. Boyd and Wendell give Hale a blast. Dory plays it across. Roach trying to shoot. Gets it right back. Centers it. And a tipped-in try by Dory goes wide of the target. And now the penalty will be coming up. A tripping call against the Gophers. Brian Lundbohm's shorthanded goal gives the Fighting Sioux the lead. They now go to the power play.
Here you see David Lundbohm cruising through to the side of the slot. Dillon gets a stick up. It could have been interference, actually. I think they called holding, but tripping.
Would you settle for a trip?
Well, that works.
Yeah, okay. And it's O'Leary to go off. 22nd minor penalty against the Fighting Sioux this year. I have that completely backwards, don't I? The 22nd minor by the Gophers in games against the Fighting Sioux. That's a lot.
Ooh, that's too many.
Power play numbers for the Fighting Sioux at 25% and 85% kill for the Gophers. Now Panzer at center ice. Roach sidesteps Westrom, brings it in, finally bumped off the puck by DeMarchi. Leader in power play goals is Brian Lundbohm for North Dakota. He's got 8. Panzer has 6. And shorthanded, Westrom shoots the puck down the rink. Gophers going to change. They better hurry. Aaron Schneeklaus dumps it in. There's Brian Lundbohm with the puck. Mills pins him. Can't get it out. Roach. Roach again. Shot it wide. Schneeklaus. And a clearing attempt by DeMarchi gets out of his zone. The Fighting Sioux will change up. And now Miskovich, seeing that loose puck down there, darts after it. Gehring has to clear it away. North Dakota player, I think it might have been Roach, went to the bench maybe a little early there, leaving that puck alone.
Gophers doing a good job keeping the puck out of the perimeter on this big rink. Let him have it out there on the boards. Let him kill those seconds off.
Kevin Spiewak. Now Jason Noterman. Over to Spiewak again. Noterman. Play it to the point. Spiewak. And Noterman back at the line. Chad Mazurek. And that deflection goes wide of the mark. Down to about 5 seconds on the minor penalty to O'Leary. Hammer fires away. Oh, that was tipped in front and deflected wide. Noterman looked like he was going to have a great scoring chance there, but the Fighting Sioux wind up with no shots on this power play. Gophers called here for icing. So the penalty boxes are empty. 6:21 to go in the period. North Dakota up 2-1.
Plays looks like both teams are tentative and cautious that the short-handed team can spring on them at any time, just like North Dakota did and got that short-handed goal. Instead of really taking it to them and getting 4, 5, 6 shots. Too conservative on the power play.
Too respectful, maybe?
Maybe too respectful.
Icing here for Minnesota. They just tried to chip it out of the zone, got it down too far. Time to give away some goodies. Gopher fans, a chance for you to win a puck autographed by Don Lucia and a Got Milk t-shirt. Simply send a postcard including your name, address, and phone number to the address on the screen there. And you'll win prizes courtesy of the American Dairy Association and the University of Minnesota Men's Athletics Department. Another face-off in the Minnesota end. Tyler Palmasino and Matt Kowalska. Palmasino, a freshman from East Grand Forks. Left winger, Pat O'Leary's from Fargo. And his right winger, Quinn Filling, is from Minot. Here's Jeff Tate for the Golden Gophers. Was second in the Team USA scoring at the World Junior competition in Moscow. There were 3 Gophers there and one from North Dakota, that being David Hale. And I think they lost a combined 40 pounds. I think everybody lost 10 to 15 pounds there. They just didn't like the food, we were told.
No. Heard that before.
There's Lundbohm with an interception. They tried to work it ahead in a hurry. Gophers shut him down pretty good right there. Here's Tate. And he throws it up on the left side a little bit too far. And that pass was out of the reach of Grant Potulny and was offside at the blue line. Potulny thinks not, but Marco Hunt had the final say on that one. You know, we see Potulny, they're giving Marco Hunt an earful. And I think that's part of the comments that we've heard about this freshman class this year. They're not afraid to speak their minds. They're an assertive group.
Be good for the remainder 3 years he's got here.
Yes, it would be.
Looking for some leaders.
Schneekloth goes back for the puck. Now Dory. Lundbohm, that being David, who had the first goal, and Brian the second. Brian was shorthanded at 9:06. Westrom shot it wide. And Mazurek plays it out of the zone. It takes a North Dakota hop right to Dory. And now he's alone in the zone. There's nobody within reach on that pass. Linebeck tries to get it out, does, but had to pay the price to do so. Mazurek. And a glove catch by Hauser. He leaves it for DeMarchi. He plays it quickly to Leopold. He had to turn in a hurry. Now Westrom in a crowd, but it's taken away by Beta. Beta looking for the pass. Good block by Westrom. Panzer after the puck, but Westrom takes it away. Got it ahead to Anthony. 3-on-2 Minnesota rush. Westrom leading the charge with Senden, and here's Anthony breaking in. Oh, what a save by Gehring, and he holds on. A classic 3-on-2 up the ice, and Nick Anthony was wide open for the backhand, but Carl Gehring was right there to shut him down. Still 2-1 Fighting Sioux. Back in a moment. Carl Gehring gave up 5 goals on November 11th against the Gophers.
A classic 3-on-2.
Oh, it was.
Beautiful play.
A blast by Paul Martin goes wide. Ryan Beta shot it in, but it hit Greg Rollers, the assistant ref. Mills ahead to Miskovich. Long shot, and Gehring got a piece of that one. And it changed direction enough to give everybody a thought that it could have gone in, but it was wide by a great margin. As Panzer is dumped, I think Mills might be going here. Don Adam.
Panzer was busting through with a lot of speed. There was actually 3 Gophers there. I don't know. I don't think he was going anywhere, but
Miskovich is going to go. I misread that one. Here's the rush.
as you can see, he's surrounded by 3 Gophers. He's going through with a lot of speed working and did get hooked. Somebody should have just stepped in the lane and blocked his path. Wouldn't have looked so bad.
Second time the Gophers will be short tonight, and Miskovich in the box. And that's Tim Scarperud out for this face-off.
Gophers did a great job killing the penalties last time, but they have to watch those points. Everybody likes to get nice and low.
Martin thought better of trying to shoot it all the way around. He didn't have a good angle. That was a savvy move by Martin just to eat the puck back there. Now Weibel battles to get it out. Westrom short-handed. Nice move. Moves in. And a good recovery by Spiewak to knock it away and to come away with the puck. Spiewak to Noterman. Weibel slowed him down a bit. Now Weibel again on the forecheck. Trevor Hammer has to drop it back, and Spiewak regrouping. Second power play unit is out there for the Fighting Sioux right now. Here's Hammer. And Leopold watches him go all the way around. Jason Noterman. DeMarchi goes after him. Hammer shooting. That skips wide. A good hustle by Tate to get it ahead. A bobbling puck to Troy Riddle, who can scoot. He fires for the 5-hole, and Gehring makes that save and holds on. Well, Riddle picks him up and puts him down.
Maybe these teams have reason to be cautious when they're on the power play. It seems like the teams are getting more chances when they're shorthanded.
Look at him go.
Or quality chances anyways.
There was just an instant when I thought that puck had been pushed too far ahead. Then I saw the 21 on the back of the jersey, and I figured he can catch anything.
You're running her down.
Anthony, after winning the faceoff, got it to Senden, who tries to break free. There'll be a penalty. He was held up just long enough, and that's a good call, too. A holding penalty, and then it will go 4-on-4 here for the next 51 seconds.
Which will open things up on this big ice surface.
And how much of this eventual power play will be the work of Nick Anthony, the work he did after that faceoff?
Both him and Stuart Sinden have played really, really well tonight. Both skating, moving, taking the body, pushing ahead, keeping their feet moving. And North Dakota had to haul them down.
That's Panzer who is off. You know, that's only his 6th penalty this year.
Lady Bing.
No wonder he's got all these points. He's never in the penalty box. It's only a 6th minor penalty. 6th penalty period.
I don't know if he ever throws a body check. I hate those guys that play the game without throwing a body check.
We're 4 skaters aside for a while. Hale has a little trouble controlling it, but it was offside at the blue line. Now in 41 seconds, the penalty to Miskovich will be over, and the Gophers will have about a minute and 10 seconds or so with the power play. Hale was picked in the preseason coaches poll as the potential rookie of the year in this league.
He's certainly got size, and he looks like he's got the mobility and likes to use the body, so got half the battle won right there.
6'1" and 200. Carried out to center ice. Good stick handling by Travis Roach. So Roach and Hale, 2 young defensemen out on the points here. Roach in his sophomore year, Hale the freshman. Here's Hale. Couldn't keep it in, however. Now Tafe goes after his man. Gets a little help from Riddle. Forces the bad pass. Here comes Stark. Takes a look. Gophers want to change. Stark drops it back. Tafe dumps it in. And Hale will go after the puck. Miskovich will be stepping on right now. And a minute 9 of power play for the Gophers. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the first period. O'Leary, a nice takeaway, and brings it in. Drop pass to Westrom. And Westrom had a little trouble with the puck there.
Couldn't decide if he was going to take a slap shot or a wrist shot, I think.
Mills lays it ahead. O'Leary took the hit there from Mazurek, but makes the play to get it in. Now Westrom digging it out of the corner. Back at the line for Mills. The tip in. Never reached the net. A battle. O'Leary. So's Leopold. So's Patoni as 2 big men are out there right now for the Gophers on this power play. And the Fighting Sioux clear it, but it hit a skate and takes a Minnesota hop. They don't have to go all the way back for the puck. Mills to Leopold, bringing it in. Out in the middle for O'Leary. Here's Patoni. And a good job by Spiewak to clear it away. Leopold to Mills. He keeps it in. Leopold. Westrom. Leopold once more. Mills, the one-timer, and it was deflected. A nice job by Noterman up high. Westrom. Penalty about to expire. Shot high. Rebound for O'Leary. He couldn't jam it in. And finally grabbed by Panzer just out of the penalty box. Panzer bearing down on Mills. And now Panzer fires it all the way across. Here's Ryan Beta to pick it up. Beta pushes it to the front. It was blocked by Mills. Grabbed now by Senden. 13 to go in the period. Stewart Senden. Whoa, he took a slash at center. There'll be a penalty on Hale. That was a needless penalty. And boy, am I glad they're seeing they're calling that crap.
Yeah, there's no need for that. I mean, he's closing in on the guy, ride him out, take the body, but a lot of slashing going on in this game, and the refs aren't going to stand for it.
Nice speed by Senden going laterally here, and there's the whack. Got him a good one.
The Gophers have played very well tonight, Frank, other than the shorthanded goal. But like I said, we were looking for him to initiate that body contact. I think with Wendell, O'Leary, and Joe Martin and DeMarchi back in this lineup, that gives them that strength. So North Dakota's a team that, usually they've been playing teams that are bigger than them, but all of a sudden they've got their size back. And I think with a team like North Dakota, that's the way to shut them down, is really make them pay the price along the boards.
0 for 2 in the power play. 8 seconds in the period. Nice play to Tate. Long shot deflected, but it went the wrong way. Beta gets it. Period should come to an end here. And it does. And a minute 51 of the penalty to Hale will carry over. That'll be a good way for the Gophers to start the second period, trailing in this one by a score of 2-1, but a good period of hockey. All right, here's our intermission lineup. We'll visit live with Travis Roach, who had a big weekend against the Gophers earlier this year. Pat Micheletti will also talk to Don Lucia. We'll bring you stats and highlights from our first period of play. The match we've been waiting for several weeks for, the Gophers and the Fighting Sioux. 20 minutes are done. It's been a very good period of hockey here, the first period. 20 minutes in the books. Fighting Sioux with a 2-1 lead over the Golden Gophers. This game has been so close. It's been a little bit hard to dissect this one. Do you see much of an edge either way in this game?
Well, I did mention the Gophers, I think, were taking the body a little more, initiating the body than they have in the past in the other games. And I think they know they have to finish their checks. They're very, very explosive, North Dakota. And like I said, with those big guys back in the lineup from injuries and some of the guys back from juniors, they have their full lineup. They feel pretty good about themselves. But both have been a little cautious on the power play.
All right, let's take a look at some Powerball numbers through 20 minutes of action here at Mariucci Arena. Shots on goal. The Fighting Sioux had an early edge, but Minnesota's come back now to take a 10-8 edge in shots. Each team with 3 scoring chances. Penalties are pretty even on the power play. North Dakota 0 for 2, but they did score a shorthanded goal. The Gophers are 0 for 2 on the power play, and they have a minute and 51 seconds of power play that will carry over to the second period and start this one. And that, I would think, would be a key couple of minutes. The Gophers might, during this intermission, want to focus a little bit on strategy during those 2 minutes.
Well, they do. I think on this power play, they didn't get many shots on the first 2 power plays. And like I said, when you end that power play with 0-1 shot, we need 6 to 8 at least. And let's test that little goalie. He hasn't played that well lately. Let's get on him.
Except when you start testing that little goalie, he starts playing like a 6'5" giant and fills the net.
Yeah.
He can't rise up to the occasion.
He did have a nice glove save early on a 2-on-1. And again, maybe we have to ding one off the melon to get him warmed up a little.
Let's instead go to our Treasure Island highlights. First period of play, there are 2 goals in the first 4 minutes. This one, 2 minutes and 20 seconds in by David Lundbaum.
Well, here you can see nice backhand movement. Gopher winger not back checking all the way to the net. Again, I wouldn't want to be the Oscar Award there nominee for the highlight film, but it happens, and it was early in the game.
About a minute and a half later, Aaron Miskovich will blister one in.
Nice drop pass by Stuart Sinden. Aaron lets a quick wrist shot go and beats the goalie between the legs, Carl Gehring, and ties it up.
Jeff Panzer engineers this shorthanded break, 2-on-1.
Well, that play looked a little harmless in the offensive zone. Gophers were on the power play and just got caught pinching, and they came down, made a nice play.
So the Fighting Sioux score first and they score last. Boy, you better get awake for this second period. It should be another burner. Welcome back to Mariucci Arena with Pat Micheletti and Reed Larson. I'm Frank Mazzacco. Glad to have you with us on this busy sports night. First of 2 games, and the Gophers on the power play for a minute 51 coming into this period. They are thus far 0 for 2 in the power play, and no doubt would like to get one with the man advantage here and tie the score up. Here's Minnesota's Eric Westrom. Now to Aaron Miskovich. Miskovich rolling in behind the net, took a whack. In case you're wondering, the Gophers are leading their top. They are missing their leading power play goal scorer, that being John Pohl, who has 8. He's out with a bad ankle of some sort. It could be as much as a chipped bone after taking a shot, or just a bit really bad bruise. Up the middle, Mills. Oh, and he tried to put it in front for Patulli. Mills battles with Missouri. Miskovich, hand on it. Second effort gets it over to Westrom. Patulli up the middle. Now they're using Miskovich in place of John Pohl down low. Here's Mills firing, rebound, bouncing puck. Patulli had 2 whacks at it. The second time he got some wood on it. But that was like a football in front of him. He couldn't get control of it.
I think they made some nice passes, but once you make that first or second pass to the perimeter and you've got a seam, you've got to go to the net. And I think that's what Dylan Mills did finally, and about 3 Gophers converged on the net there, and that gave him that opportunity.
Good catch by Westrom, but then they give the puck away at the line, and back out at center ice, here's Troy Riddle. Martin. Now Jeff Tate met at the line, but he got it in. Oh, it's offside just barely on Matt Kowalska's stick there. 12 seconds left on the minor penalty to Hale.
Just barely was right. Boy, that was close. I think Matt Kowalska was smelling the twine there on the net. He had a little opening.
Gave him a little bit more tight checking than I thought it would be.
Well, you call it. It's kind of slowed down just a little bit right now.
It's had some spurts. This is DeMarkey to shoot it in. Gehring leaves it. Martin blocks it, and then Spiewak throws it out of the zone. Hale steps out of the penalty box, and now the Gophers in their own end will try to get things going. A pass by Martin hits a skate. This is Roach. Kowalska nearly took that one away from him. Far side. Lineweber plays it to center. Here's Dave Lundbohm bringing it in. His drop pass to Spiewak misfired. It'll be grabbed by Kowalska. And now Roach plays it back at its center. It bounces right to Lundbohm. Lundbohm brings it in. They go to the left side. Spiewak shoots. And he had Hauser leaning one way. The shot went the other, but it missed. And Tafe, a nice move to get around Lundbohm. Then he dumps it into the corner. And the Gophers will change all 5 players here on the fly. From behind the net, Lineweber. And off the skate of O'Leary, a little bit too far for Dave Lundbohm. And a good job there by Linebeck to step in front of Lundbohm to prevent him from getting to the puck. Dylan Mills for the Golden Gophers, the senior out of Duluth, plays it to center. Linebeck brings it in. Matt Linebeck takes a look. They give him a little bit of time, but not all day. And then Palmasino played it behind the net. This is O'Leary. Wrapped off his stick by Hammer. And then O'Leary is hammered into the boards by Trevor Hammer. Linebeck taken down by Palmasino. And as that puck comes loose, we've had a little bit of clutch and grab here in this game. The pass to Dory at center ice came from Pat O'Leary of the Fighting Sioux. And then a giveaway by Mills to Palmasino. Dory. And now here's O'Leary putting it right in front. And a good job by Tharp to have his man tied up. Couldn't get the shot off. Dory. Broken up by Tharp. Wes Dory digs it off the wall. Hammer waits for it. Here's a shot by O'Leary. Big save by Hauser. And that rising shot. Linebeck gets it to center. And then it is dumped in by Minnesota's Eric Wendell. Gophers again making the full change on the go. Panzer played it to the line. Ryan Lundbohm trying to break past Leopold. Now he's met by DeMarchi. Two stick checks, and then he gives up the puck. Leopold off the glass, gets it out of the zone. Dekloff back out at center. Taken away by Anthony. 3-on-2, they bring it in. Anthony shooting, he's going for the short side, and the save was made by Gehring. Panzer. Mazurek now behind the net. And out to center where Mazurek gets around Weibel, but can't retain control. Panzer right in front for Lundbohm, and it comes all the way through. This is Ryan Beta who had that shot. He was jabbed hard by DeMarchi. Beta up the middle for Roach, and a carom shot off a skate and went wide of the net. Leopold. And that forces a bad pass. Boy, the Gophers are playing tough defensively in their own end, forcing North Dakota to the boards hard. 5 minutes into the period, again the Gophers change, and it's brought to center. Lundbohm bringing it in. Stripped of the puck, Spiewak has it. Trying to get around, Paul Martin moves in. Shot hit the base of the net. Westrom jammed up. Got it over to DeMarchi, who gets it to the line. Roach lines it up, moves in. Shallow angle, a shot to go. Travis Roach from outside the face-off circle, and North Dakota has a 3-1 lead.
Well, again, Travis was able to walk all the way in from the point. Let a nice wrist shot go to the far side. I don't know if Adam might have got caught a little too far on the short side post, but when we watch again, puck is played here, body was taken. Nobody's out to meet Travis. A little bit of a circle, and lets a nice wrist shot go just inside the post.
Well, there was the shorthanded goal that came from high up in the slot, and I'm still not willing to point a finger at Hauser on that one, but there were 2 others from the right wing that were 35 to 40 feet out. This one by Roach. And yeah, you don't want to give up the short side either. You do want to protect that goalpost, but there is a far one, which Travis Roach just found. Perfectly placed shot, and North Dakota has a 2-goal lead.
Well, I don't think Adam got out far enough, and like I say, these goalies are always taught to come out and cut down that angle, and kind of sunk back in.
From center, Noterman plays it in. What you allow North Dakota to do now with a 2-goal lead is really play from a position of strength. Because it's 3-1. We're early in the period. They're still capable of scoring another 4 goals in this game. Here's Martin dropping it back. Now Now brought ahead by Hale. Hauser with a stick save. Martin. And now over to Tafe. He lets it come through to Mills. And Mills will dump it in. Hammer back to get the puck. And out to Lundbohm at center. Lundbohm had to shoot it in. His teammates would have been offside. Hammer can't keep it in the zone. Now he'll dump it in. The Fighting Sioux will touch up as Joe Martin goes back for the puck for the Gophers. Picked up his first collegiate point 2 weeks ago on a deflection. His shot actually was deflected into the net by O'Leary. Big hit by Joe Martin out at center ice. Dory shooting it in. It was gloved by Hauser off target. Mills, far side. Here's Senden. Tried to get past Dave. Lundbohm couldn't do it. Joe Martin drops it back now to Dylan Mills. Now as it's relayed in by Senden. Chad Mazurek to go after it. Junior from Regina. And the outlet pass on the far side to Paul Murphy. And they dump it in. Jordan Leopold to the Gophers. To Patalny. Back to Leopold. Out of Eric Westrom, and he gets it into the North Dakota end, and the Gophers again make that change after dumping it in. Mazurek to get the puck. Brian Lundbohm throws it in the air to get it to center, and here's Aaron Miskovich to pick it up. And a little misfire there with DeMarkey that sets Panzer to Lundbohm. Hauser makes a big save, robbing Brian Lundbohm from 20 feet away. And it all started with a errant pass back behind the goal line. Another 3-on-2. This is the Gophers. And then the pass is cleanly picked off by Brian Lundbohm. To center ice for Panzer. Moves it in. Lets it go. He was going for the far side, and the rebound by Beta is stopped by Hauser. The big guns are out there for the Fighting Sioux, and there's no doubt about the power they've got.
Well, Adam Hauser had to come up big. He had about 3 stops in a row on that one. Well, now he's getting warmed up.
Well, you know, he went after that one shot where that shot that was off target, gloved it. I thought he wanted to just play the puck and get himself in the game. But a big shot there by Panzer, and the rebound by Beta. He stopped both of them. Got a penalty out of that little fracas in front of the net.
I think Ryan Beta was causing a little too much havoc in front of the Gopher net.
And he will sit. The Gophers will go to their 4th power play. .12:08 to go in this period. And, you know, normally I'd like to say we're happy to be joined here by John Pohl, but I'd rather you be down on the ice. But, hey, thanks for making the trip up to the TV booth.
Thanks for having me. I'd rather be out there too, but...
Yeah, especially now during the power play, which we'll lean on you for here a little bit. There you get a look at John Pohl, but you can't see this thing that's on his foot. What's the word on your ankle?
It's not really good right now. The doctors didn't really give me the okay to play today. I'm going to skate tomorrow morning and see what happens. Hopefully I'll be able to play tomorrow.
Looks like a ski boot.
Yeah, it is. It's not very comfortable.
All right, Johnny, you're our power play. The Gophers' power play goal leader will talk a little bit about this power play as they bring the puck up the ice. And David Hale goes after it, and Spiewak to shoot it out of the zone in a hurry. 4th power play of the game for the Gophers. And they could use a little spark here. Would you agree?
Absolutely. This is a big power play. We're down by 2 and we need a goal.
Tafe to shoot it in. Hale, first man of the loose puck, gets away from O'Leary, but the clearing attempt hit Tafe, I think maybe in the helmet, and then it leaves the rink. And the face-off will be coming up. Johnny, how many times have you come from the back door there to bag some of your 8 power play goals? Your specialty on the power play has been down low along the red line.
Yeah, it has. Coach put me there, and really the guys that I'm out there with do a good job of finding me. And it's tough for the defensemen to defend because I'm usually in a place that they're not. They got 2 guys out high, and I'm on that back door, so I've been fortunate to get some good passes and tap some in.
The defensemen, they can keep their head on a swivel about 180 degrees, but it's hard 360 degrees.
It is. It's impossible to do.
Well, plus now we got big guys like Patalny and O'Leary who are starting to find some range in close to give that power play another added dimension.
Yeah, power play is 5 guys as a unit, not just one guy, and 5 guys can can be cohesive out there and all be on the same page, it can be pretty deadly.
Here's Westrom, and he'll shoot it in. Now to the corner and Miskovich. Leopold, a screen, and Gehring was in the right spot to make that save. I don't know that he saw the shot. Potulny has broken his stick. This is Westrom. Lets it go, and no rebound allowed there by Carl Gehring.
Johnny, not only you not being out there, but I think a little bit just to get things rolling, get it back to the point, get it to the middle. And, you know, as a defenseman, it's so hard when those shots are coming from the point because you don't know where the rebounds, the screens, tip-ins, guys like you coming from behind all of a sudden, you know, just cherry picking it. It's very difficult. And I think we need a little momentum right now. And being down 2 goals against North Dakota, it's tough.
Yeah, these guys they're a good team when they're behind, and they're also a great team when they're ahead. So, you know, you need to claw away at it. Hopefully we can get one soon.
I don't know if either of I did not see it. Aaron Miskovich is off for roughing. Someone said he may have thrown an elbow. It's not real good timing here. You may not want to say that, but I can't.
Well, 4-on-4.
4-on-4 right now. And it's played back behind the net. Hale. John, you're in your junior year, so we've got, what, 4, 8, 11 games you played, I think, against the Fighting Sioux. Yeah. Almost all of those against Carl Gehring. What's it like as a shooter to play against this guy who we keep calling the little guy, but he fills that net so well?
Yeah, I think Carl's an excellent goalie because he anticipates really well and he's very good on his angles. The key to Carl, I think, is getting traffic in front and getting rebounds. That's 9 times out of 10, even more than that, probably he's going to stop that first shot. But we just got to get to the net and get rebounds.
Which he doesn't give up too many of either. Or if he does, he's pretty good about controlling them.
Yes.
So the penalty is over. The Fighting Sioux, as you see, have about 1:10 of power play. Short-handed. DeMarchi drops it back to Leopold. He'll get pressure from Beta. And then Leopold launches it down the rink and gets it all the way to the end boards. Halfway through the second period, there's the Fighting Sioux power play tonight, 0 for 2. They've yet to get a shot on goal. That's plenty surprising. Lundbohm got it in. I say plenty surprising because that's a team that has scored 26 power play goals this year. Lundbohm had trouble with the puck. Leopold jumps on it in a hurry. Short-handed to Westrom at center. It's 3-on-2. They bring it in. Westrom back in the slot, and it was just a little bit behind Johnny Weibel. And now North Dakota with only 1 man back for the Gophers, and DeMarchi does a good job to get up there, get the puck, and get it down the rink. Boy, he was in a bad spot in a bad way.
He was. Lucky North Dakota just kind of threw an errant pass. Wasn't really on target. That's the only thing that really saved that play.
Now DeMarchi first to get to the puck again, and he gets it out of the zone. And Aaron Schneekloth back to get it for the Fighting Sioux. Nearly lost it to Senden. And then the puck jumped the boards and leaves the rink. Give us a couple of words, if you will, about Minnesota's sweep last weekend up at Alaska Anchorage. Those were 2 really big games.
Huge. The way the conference is playing out right now, I think there's 3 teams tied right now. North Dakota's 1 point ahead, so every game is important. And going up to Alaska is never easy. It's a long flight. There's not many people at the game. It's tough to get involved, but we played smart, and we came out with 2 points and 2 wins, 4 points, and it was very, very important.
Good 120 minutes of hockey for the Gophers?
Pretty solid, yeah, overall.
They played very well here, so I thought it was going to be really tough going up into Anchorage, but again, a pleasant surprise.
No, I don't know if you sensed it. Obviously, they've lost 9 in a row now, but that's very surprising for that team that seemed to have found a good level of equilibrium. As the penalty to Miskovich is over, here comes Eric Wendell. He moves in, fires a shot at the post. No shots on goal again for the Fighting Sioux, who are going to get another penalty here as Hauser darts to the bench for an extra skater. Mills comes in and he just blasts Wes Story. Dylan Mills is playing with some renewed vigor here tonight. Maybe not renewed is not the right word, but here is a senior who wants to start getting some wins against North Dakota. There'll be a penalty on the Fighting Sioux and another power play chance for the Gophers. Back after this. Penalized players Chad Mazurek for tripping at 11:31. Gophers will go to their 5th. John, what do you want to see happen on this power play?
Well, we just need good movement of the puck, and we need traffic in front. Got to get the puck to the net.
Good face-off win by Westrom to start it. Leopold firing away, and that hit Hale up front. Patoli battles for it. Fighting Sioux can't get it out. Leopold down low to Westrom, right back to Leopold. Dylan Mills, slap shot, fired wide. May have been tipped. Here's Miskovich. Right up the middle, and it got away from Patoli. And Hauser comes way out of the net to get control of the puck, and he'll help Leopold out with Kevin Spiewak out in front of the net now. And Jordan Leopold. On the Gophers' 5th power play of this game, it's off the stick of Patoli. Aaron Miskovich finds Eric Westrom. Leopold at the line. Westrom rifles it across for Mills. Miskovich behind the net, now to Westrom. Firing, blocked away by Gary. 110 on the penalty. Mills got it over to Miskovich. Sneakloff is on him. Good block by Patoli. Now Mills after the loose puck. And he plays it around on the boards again to Patoli behind the net. Sneakloff once more takes a look off the glass. And a bouncing puck comes out at center. Leopold finds Miskovich, bringing it in with Westrom. He draws a crowd. And then he has to shoot it in deep. This is Westrom behind the net. Took a couple of whacks there from Roach. And might have been hobbled up just a little bit, and now decides to come back out at center ice. As some of the folks in the building thought there should have been another whistle. And as Westrom shoots it in, the offside play is called, and Westrom goes right over to Don Adam and says, how about that slash? Time to bring you a look at our Tires Plus trivia question. Which 3 WCHA schools have the most active NHL players?
All right, Johnny. I saw this, so I got to stay out of it.
Well, I honestly think I might know this.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say Wisconsin, Minnesota, and North Dakota.
All right.
What do I get if I win?
Well, I can't give you a thing. We'll all get thrown in the NCAA jail. What do you mean, You want to pick the order now?
Yeah, actually, I'll say it goes number 1, Wisconsin. Number 2 will be North Dakota, and will be number 3.
All right. The answer will be later. I'm not sure how long we can keep you here, but
I've put my neck on the line for this one.
9 more seconds left on the Missouri penalty. And here's Paul Martin with the outlet pass to center. And a delayed offside at the line just as Missouri steps out of the box. All right, we're glad you're here. We get this thing done in a hurry now. Right. Let's go to the answer for the 3 WCHA schools with the most active NHL players. Picture gives you a clue there. It's very close.
Wow.
Look at the numbers, too. 13 active Fighting Sioux. And the Gophers with 11. And that 13, by the way, does include Eddie Belfour.
We got to give it to him, don't we?
Well, he picked a 3, which was what the question was. Yeah. So congratulations. You can have this piece of paper that I've been writing on tonight. That's, right. I think, all I'm allowed to give you. From behind the net, Jordan Leopold. Weibel. Long shot, there's a rebound there, but Hammer right back to clear it away. And Beta up on the far side. Ryan Lundbohm at center, here they come again. Panzer bringing it in. Well, I asked you, John, a little bit earlier about playing against Carl Gehring, the goaltender. What's it like playing against this guy, Panzer?
Well, it's not easy, that's for sure. He's a great player, and really quick and really aggressive and tenacious.
Here comes quickness, that's Miskovich. Good defensive play by Hammer. A backhand by Leopold wide of the net. Jordan Leopold looked good as a forward on that one. Now O'Leary has trouble with it, and Wendell takes it away and shot it in. Sneakloff getting it over, and Hammer to pick it up. Have you ever seen him take a shift lightly?
No, I never have. I wish he would tonight.
Here's Wendell. Beta gets to the puck as Eric Wendell goes down. And Palmasino drives the puck all the way down the rink. And it'll be icing. 5:11 to go. John Paul, we're going to say thanks very much for joining us. We got some business to do. Get better in a hurry.
Thanks, Johnny. Thank you.
Welcome back. 5-on-5 as Dylan Mills fired it wide of the net. Here's Tharp shooting one in, and it hit Hale. Hale from behind the net. Gophers with 18 shots in this game, 8 in this period, to 6 for the Fighting Sioux. And Minnesota since at times getting frustrated here because they seem like they're good up until they get to the red zone, up until they get into the slot, and then they're having a hard time buying some real estate down there and getting close in chances on Gary. And those rebounds that Paul was hoping they would get to, there are none to be had.
Right. You hit it right on the head. They're advancing down the ice until they get right into that key area where they need to be shooting from. And boy, North Dakota just slams the door right there.
Long pass to center. It'll be picked up by Dory. He's watched by Leopold, who forces him into a tough spot and a missed shot. Out at center ice, Riddle. Boy, he just took a flying run there at Noterman. Realized he wasn't going to get to the puck. Figures I've got the momentum, I'll hit Noterman, but actually Noterman didn't budge. Here's DeMarkey after it. And now Leopold will have to hustle over to get it away from Noterman, and Leopold brings it to center. His pass is deflected. Tafe comes back for it. Tafe moves in and shoots. He shot it wide. Noterman, and Riddle gets him a good one this time. Out DeMarkey. Kowalska got just a piece of it, and here's Sneakloth in his own end. Wood Sneakloth just took a slash from Tafe, and that goes without a call. The loose puck in the circle to Jordan Leopold. Crosses center, slides it down the rink, and Sneakloth back to get it. Off the rail, out at center ice, and Sneakloth again. Zurich. Mills grabs it. Back to Paul Martin. Pass that was deflected and nearly intercepted. A good grab by Patulny. He brings it in with Sendon. Was checked as he shot Fandon. Back out at center ice. Here comes Beta. Cuts to the middle. Fires it across. Lundbohm pushes it behind the net. Martin after it. And now Martin took a whack. Lineweber from center, dumping it right back in. And this is Mills. Lobs it ahead. It's knocked down at the line by Hale over to Lineweber. Off of Lundbohm, and it deflects over to Panzer. Firing, he fired it wide.
And just wide.
Oh, man.
Gets it away quick.
What a shot. Lineweber dumps it in. And the pass back to the line was broken up by Weibel. Mills throws it in the air to get it out of his zone. And dumped right back in. Lineweber, this is Paul Martin. Takes a bump from Beta. David Lundbohm is out there as well. Westrom turning with it. Now Eric Westrom to center. Long shot from the blue line, gets nothing but glass. The rebound! Westrom shot, then Ropes knocked it out of the air. This is Westrom shooting again. It's taken away by Murphy. He breaks it to Lundbohm at center, who redirects it into Minnesota territory. Hauser plays it ahead to DeMarkey. In over the line. And DeMarkey watched by Hammer. Minnesota defenseman back to the blue line for Leopold. That shot goes wide. Somebody knocked Miskovich down. And now it'll be taken away by David Lundbohm, who brings it to center. And Weibel nearly picked his pocket. Then he'll get some help from Leopold. And a hit out at center ice thrown by DeMarkey. Here's DeMarkey with the puck. Finds Matt Kowalska. Can't get it past Lundbohm. Dory turns it around for North Dakota. Watched by Leopold. They can't get around him either. And there's a minute to go. Boy, there have been a lot of individual, a lot of one-on-one plays in this game. Mano a mano, if you might say. And this puck is shot down the rink. But the icing waved off as Riddle gets to it. Spiewak. And an interception by Tafe, and he'll dump it in. Not as much passing and playmaking as I thought there would be. A lot more tight checking, and a lot hard hitting. Knocked out of the air by Tafe. Moves it in. That's once more. Now he's out of real estate. It's Spiewak. Tafe hangs onto the puck. Good job. Leaves it now for Riddle. Couple of seconds left in the period. Bound 14. Tafe through a screen. It's off a skate. And Schneekloth over to get it. Wants to get it out of the zone. Knocked out of the air by Martin. Oh, but they say he played it with a high stick. 3.6 seconds on our clock. Couple seconds.
Just wish we could have got rid of just a couple of bad plays. It just let down for a few seconds.
Here's the lineup for our second intermission. Pat Micheletti will talk live with Minnesota senior Dylan Mills. We'll talk to the coach of the Fighting Sioux. And perhaps we should have mentioned the defending national champion Fighting Sioux, Dean Blaze. I'll have stats and highlights too.
Boy, it's really a shame. Like I said, you can't give these North Dakota guys one opening. And, I mean, Jeff Panzer for North Dakota almost had another goal on that quick wrist shot. Just miss. They are opportunists, that's for sure. They make them count.
Roach drops it all the way back to Carl Gehring to end the period. And the Fighting Sioux have the only goal of that second period, that by the defenseman Roach at 5:17. And that opens up a 3-1 lead for North Dakota. The Fighting Sioux ranked number 2 in the nation. The Golden Gophers ranked number 9. Third period after our intermission. 3-1, the Fighting Sioux have a lead. The senior classes of these two schools have met for over the 4 years. Golden Gophers have won only 2 of the previous 15 games. One of those seniors, Dylan Mills, wants to turn that around before they graduate. He's standing by with Pat Micheletti.
Well, thanks, Frank. And Dylan, lethargic period for you guys.
Yeah, it was a tough period for us. I mean, we're not doing the things we wanted to do, and they're a step ahead of us right now, and that's showing on the scoreboard.
I know you guys were up in Alaska last week. Do you think that had something to do? You guys feeling a little tired out there?
I don't think it had anything to do with it. I think we came a little ill-prepared those first 2 periods. We weren't quite ready to match their intensity. I think last week and set up this week, and so far we haven't done a good job following through with that.
No, you're still only down by 2 goals, still in this hockey game. What do you got to do in the third period?
We're very much in this hockey game. We got to try to come up with a little more jump in the third period. And the history of these games between us and North Dakota is they're decided in the third period. So, I mean, we're fine with where we're at. We're not happy with where we're at, but I think we can come out and put together a good third period.
No, you're missing your second leading scorer, Johnny Pohl. Does that have an effect on the guys at all, or do you put that out of your mind?
It doesn't have an effect on the way we play at all. We've got to make some adjustments on special teams and some of the lines, but individually it doesn't affect anyone really.
All right, good luck in the third. That's captain of the Golden Gophers, Dylan Mills. When we come back, I'll have a conversation with the head coach of the Fighting Sioux, Dean Blaze. You're watching Golden Gopher Hockey on MSC. Welcome back to Mariucci Arena. We're in our second intermission, joined by the head coach of the Fighting Sioux, Dean Blaze. And Coach, nothing new, you guys still in first place?
Well, Pat, it's going to be a tough run. Colorado College, Minnesota, and St. Cloud are only 1 point behind, so things are all even up now. Everyone's played their 14 games, and we're at the midpoint of the season.
Talk about your team a little bit. Are you surprised at the way they're playing and guys developing and so forth?
Well, certainly the best players are playing at the highest level they can possibly play at. We've got Hobie Baker candidates, first-team All-Americans, but we're hoping to get more scoring from, the freshmen who are now, into their 20th game. So, hope that they play a little bit stronger and can add some offense. And, some of the guys haven't scored a goal yet or haven't had many opportunities to score goals. You just hope that later on they can add.
Let's talk about your goaltending a little bit. Andy Kohler has been very, very solid for you. The other guy, Carl Gehring, who has been an All-American League MVP, struggling a little bit this year.
Yeah, and we're hoping that Carl has a big second half. Without Carl playing well, we're very average, and he's playing tonight, and hopefully he can turn it around. We need him playing well, just like Donnie Lucia is talking about Hauser now. You're up and down performance-wise, and you're not going to win championships. If we're going to win a championship or be in the top 5, we need Carl Gehring to step forward.
All right, you guys play in a smaller rink in North Dakota and Grand Forks. You come here, your team is more of a team that, a speed team. Does that favor you maybe a little bit coming into this Mariucci Arena?
Well, Minnesota's no slouch either. They can get up and down the ice as well as North Dakota, so it's going to be a great game. It'll be a great up and down game with a lot of scoring. And Grand Forks, we beat them 7-5 and tied them 5-5 next night, so it was kind of wide open shootout. Yeah. But definitely our players like the big rank, and we recruited players that can skate and think and make plays.
Well, best of luck this weekend, Coach.
Thanks, Pat.
That's head coach Dean Blaze of the Fighting Sioux. When we come back, Frank Mazzacco, Reed Larson will have stats and highlights of the second period. You're watching Golden Gopher Hockey on MSC.
They done.
Well, that's a brilliant shot. And you don't see that on the scorecard, Gary, but that's the kind of play that wins championships.
Splendid effort from the young man.
Welcome back to Mariucci Arena. The Fighting Sioux have the only goal, the only scoring point, and what was a pretty unusual second period of play. Travis Roach gets the only goal. There were no assists on that one. It was a shallow angle goal. I think it was a bit of a soft goal, and they have a 3-1 lead in this one, and they look like they're in control.
Yeah, Travis followed the yellow brick road to the net there, I think. Just kind of weaved his way into the net and let a wrist shot go, and I think Adam Hauser was just a little bit too far back into the net.
Time for the Chrysler second period highlights, and we'll start with this action.
Here's that little stroll to the net, sends a shot in, and I don't know if Adam was screened at all, but he definitely has to come out on his angles.
Well, the Gophers officially had no scoring chances. This would be as close as they come.
Here, Travis Roach bats it down out of midair. It might have bounced off the Carl Gering's back and into the net without him knocking it out of midair.
And the Abra stats through 2 periods of play. Gophers still holding on to an edge, 19-14 in shots, and you'd think giving up just 7 shots in a period against the Fighting Sioux would put you in pretty good stead. But look at the power outage for both schools. North Dakota 0 for 3 and not even a shot. The Gophers have had 8.5 minutes of power play opportunity. 7 of their 19 shots have come on the power play, but the power play hasn't really looked all that good tonight.
Well, no, and I don't know if the penalty killing units bring that intensity level up so high that, you know, that's the only time during this period, I think, where they were very, very focused, and it was the penalty killing units. And actually, they've done more damage in shots than the even strength.
And Dylan Mills is right. The third period historically has been the period to decide games between Minnesota and North Dakota. We'll have our third period face-off right after this chilly timeout. Welcome back to Mariucci Arena with Reed Larson and Pat Micheletti. I'm Frank Mazzacco. North Dakota 3, Minnesota 1. The Fighting Sioux with a very early first period goal by Dave Lundbohm, his 4th. Aaron Miskovich tied it on his 7th. For Minnesota a minute and a half later. Shorthanded goal by Brian Lundbohm gave the lead to the Sioux, a lead which they have not relinquished, and Roach has made it 3-1. And after 2 periods of play, you see the Sioux are virtually invincible. They have only lost 1 in 14 times. The Gophers have not rallied to win in the third period this year. But the good news out of that is that they have been trailing after 2 periods only 4 times. This is Aaron Miskovich as we start this period. 5 skaters aside. And DeMarkey playing it ahead. Nick Anthony is there to tip it in. Travis Roach for the Fighting Sioux from behind his own net. Ryan Beta. This top line is out there, nearly came back to Panzer. The top 4 scorers in the league right now are out on the ice, with Jeff Panzer and his wingers Ryan Beta, Brian Lundbohm, and Minnesota's Eric Westrom, who is 4th in scoring coming into the game tonight. And here comes Westrom with the puck. Westrom started the game with 31 points, 14 goals. He leads Minnesota in both categories. And here he is stopped by Carl Gehring. At ice level, here's Pat Micheletti.
Well, thanks, Frank. At the end of the second period, I had an opportunity to kind of stand behind the Gopher bench, and you can tell when a team is into it because the guys are talking and that sort of thing, but it was real silent on that Gopher bench. Not a lot of emotion, and I think that's, you know, it showed the way they played in the second period. On the other hand, I talked to Dean Blaze, and he's ecstatic with the way his team has played thus far. Frank?
Mick, I don't remember, did you make many trips to Anchorage, 1 or 2?
You know, never.
Never?
No, they were not in the league when I was playing.
All right, so you will not be a very good authority on that question about the travel.
No, sir.
Okay.
Well, I got there with the radio. I was doing the radio one year and went up there. I was very tired. No, I don't think these guys, you know, they're
part of it, yeah. And part of it was that their return trip on Sunday, in years past, the best connection out of there was to leave on a red eye at about 11:30 or 12 o'clock right after the game. And Lucia says, no, enough of that nonsense. He said, let's come back Sunday. We'll leave at 9 in the morning. We may not get a full night's sleep, but at least we'll be able to get some sleep there. There's a point Blank try by Kowalska. So he feels that the travel should not be a factor in this as well. But there is a bit of lethargy out there. It's not quite as juiced as you would expect it to be. We'll obviously want to give North Dakota a fair amount of credit for doing what they've got to do to slow the Gophers down. Here's Kowalska after the puck.
That might come into play though. Troy Riddle and the guys that went over to Moscow. That's got to take a little bit out of you. Paul Martin and
Jeff Tafe. Although Tafe has been one of the more noticeable Minnesota players out there tonight.
Yeah, figure that out.
Now, come up with another theory. Maybe this theory is that it's tougher to come back from Anchorage than it is from Moscow. I don't know. Well, here comes Leopold. Met by Dave Lundbaum at center, and Leopold dumps it in. Murphy from center ice shooting it into Minnesota territory. Paul Murphy from Manville, North Dakota. Jordan Leopold, and he turns it over. Here's O'Leary shooting wide. Now Minnesota's Pat O'Leary after it. Fighting Sioux, Pat O'Leary wearing number 11 in the dark uniform. Minnesota's Pat O'Leary, 25 white. And as the puck goes into the corner, Palmasino goes after it. Leopold steps in front. Lineback waiting for the puck. And here's Stilling. Quick centering pass. Hit a body, and Hauser took the gamble and smothers the puck. Still early here in the third period, and the Gophers looking to rally. They're down by 2.
Doesn't look like it's going to get any better tomorrow night.
No, it doesn't.
Sioux are 5-4-2 on Friday nights, 9-0-2 on Saturday nights.
Have not lost a game in the second night of a series. And that means the Gophers need to get up and get going here. Down by 2. Lineback. And as he goes down, the puck comes back to Martin. Wendell shooting. Gehring gave up a rebound there, a pretty big one. And now the puck is put up out of play, and it's got some folks scattering there. I want to remind you that this, well, let's see here. I think I should probably follow the lead of our timeout coordinator of all the people. Go Johnny Pohl and the Gophers. You know what? Red Wing needs to get, not only does Red Wing want John Pohl back in the lineup, I think the Gophers could use John Pohl back in the lineup tonight. There's a big chunk of spark that's missing tonight. Will you agree, Reed?
Yeah, he's usually good for a goal or a couple assists or something. He is a big bulk of that offense.
They play a little catch and get it over to Lundbaum. And Miskovich shoots it around. Martin. There's Miskovich once more. And a diving play at center ice by Anthony, but he couldn't get to the puck. Lundbaum is bumped, and here's Beta. And now up on the far side of the rink. Good rush by Chris Lineweber, but he lost control of it, and now John Weibel turned it over. Beta after it again. And as Beta comes back with the puck, he's met by Martin Weibel with the interception. He'll skate up the middle of the rink now, trying to get some space. It's off Nick Anthony's skates. And they're going to still wave off the icing. Lineweber plays it out at center. Scarperud shoots it back behind the net. Westrom after the puck, but he would have chopped it away there from Noterman. Here comes Westrom. Drop pass. Send it! And that shot was blocked. A good defensive play by David Hale. And up on the far side of the rink, here's Scarperud. Lost his footing, but got the puck out of the zone. And now Travis Roach back to get it again. Here's Hale once more. Has North Dakota been held without a shot in this period? Scarperud fires and a goal! My goodness! Their first shot of the period, and they have a 4-1 lead. Tim Scarperud.
It was a really, really nice play. But I'll tell you what, there hasn't been many shots. When they get them, it's been right in the slot, and they make no mistake. He put it up top in the corner. Watch the play develop here. Sends it into the slot. Got two Gophers down in front of the net playing deep, and boy, we got a little communication, a little talking there. Let's get 3-on-3. We got two guys going to one guy, and that spells trouble.
Number 6 this year for Tim Scarperud. Kevin Spiewak will get 1 assist. Jason Noterman the other. 2 goals in the first period, 1 each in the second and third for North Dakota. And here's Jeff Tate trying to strain to get in past Aaron Sneeklaw. And then Troy Riddle throws his weight around again. Riddle has thrown more than a few checks here tonight. So I don't think the travel from Moscow is bothering him, at least it doesn't seem to. Here he nearly shook the check of Dave Lundbohm. He's battling for the puck again. Now he and Kowalska behind the net. Nice play. Riddle on the backhand. Gary has trouble, and the goal has come loose. Carl Gary had trouble with that one. And this line wanted to get that puck on net as bad as any. And now punches are being thrown between Tafe and perhaps Mazurek. It is. Likely to have some roughing minors coming up out of this as the Gophers are deepening their frustration. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Regents of the University of Minnesota, and it may not be retelecast in any form without the expressed written consent of the Regents of the University of Minnesota.
Well, I think we've got a new goalie.
Yes, we do. 7 career games for Pete Samardzija. I believe all but 1 or 2 in relief. 5 of them in relief. He is looking for his first career win. And there is a very despondent Adam Hauser, who, as Don Lucia was quite pleased with the way he played up at Anchorage, and perhaps thought that he had turned the corner. But this was an off night for him.
Well, Adam, you can tell he wasn't feeling himself, and as we can look at him, he's not too happy with himself. So hopefully he bounces back tomorrow night and gets a little bit of rest, a little time to think about it. I'm sure he's steaming, but yeah, he's a great kid, works hard, and he is a very, very good goalie, and I'm sure he'll be there down the stretch. And same token, it's nice to get Pete in for a little playing time.
Double minor to Minnesota's Jeff Tafe, double minor for roughing, and Mazurek is only going to get a single minor. So the Fighting Sioux will go to a power play. There will be a hockey doubleheader coming your way tomorrow on MSC, and we'll start it all off tomorrow afternoon as the women Gophers take on Minnesota State Mankato. The Mavericks will be here at 2 o'clock on MSC as the Gopher women get back into WCHA conference play and a future Golden Gopher.
You know, we got to give Troy Riddle, though, and Jeff Tafe a lot of credit. The game has been kind of slow, and they need a little jump, a little spirit, a little enthusiasm, and they're in there mixing it up, and sometimes, you know, get their team going and maybe muscle a puck into the net instead of, you know, that beautiful finesse play. Maybe they just push it in with a bulldozer.
Well, sure, what John Paul was talking about, getting some traffic, clogging up in front of Carl Gehring, and they have not done that here tonight. Here's Panzer trying to get around Leopold. And DeMarkey dumps the puck down the rink, and Carl Gehring will have to play it. And there is Weibel trying to cause some problems, and nearly did. Lou Panzer was hooked down by Westrom, and Westrom may have gotten away with one there. Although it was not a scoring opportunity, a little more likely to let that one go. Nice move by Lundbohm, and Samardzija makes the save. Puck up on the far side, Weibel goes after it. And the Fighting Sioux on the power play working back at the line. Rhodes had some trouble, and Weibel was smelling breakaway there. Screen shot is knocked down in front of the net by DeMarkey. Sneeklaw chased by Westrom. Data sends it down low to Panzer. Look out, Lundbohm's in front. Westrom trying to tie him up. And that puck is underneath the body back behind the net. We'll get a whistle. Told you the Fighting Sioux have dominated here in Minneapolis. That includes Target Center as well. Fighting Sioux have not lost in the last 7 games, 5-0-2.
Boy, on that last penalty kill, we got away with a couple penalties again. We could have been 2-man short very easily. Eric Westrom using his stick a little high, and also we could have got a checking from behind on Jeff Panzer. Your leading scorer gets cross-checked from behind into the boards. You're lucky not to get a penalty.
Wes Story right in front, and Samardzija makes his second save of the period. This is Samardzija's only his second appearance this year. He came in a relief role in another rather poor performance by the Gophers. That was the Friday night game up at Denver. He played the third period there. Made 4 saves in 20 minutes, so at least they kept the shots away from him. And they whipped the puck around. Noterman, 20 seconds on the power play. Samardzija got a stick on that one and puts it up out of the ring. Pete Samardzija is a type of goaltender that just wants to get in. He would like to see shots. He'll challenge. He's a little eccentric at times.
Yep. But he's a goalie.
He's a goalie.
But he's just playing basic. I think, get him in here. There's not a lot of pressure. Just be basic. We always tell the goalies if they put one in off the post, it's a heck of a shot. Hey, that's going to happen. But you don't want to let those easy ones go. That deflates everybody.
Lineweber and Samardzija reaching behind, and he got enough of that one to make another save here in this third period. Might have been a little tougher than it looked.
There's a lot of traffic in front. Like I said, he comes in top of the circle. Lets a slap shot go with bodies in front of you. You hope you get a piece of it.
Minnesota Duluth holding on to a 2-1 lead now over Colorado College as the Tigers were down 2-0 in that game at one point. And a race for the puck. Here's Hale and Riddle. They give it away to Anthony. Shot around. Lineback steps out of the penalty box, serving that extra minor to Tafe. We've got 11 and a half to go here.
Boy, Troy Riddle's throwing more body checks than the whole rest of the Gophers put together.
Easily.
Everybody he goes by, he hits.
And this is a guy who's doing it with not a whole heck of a lot of size. 5'10", 175.
He's playing the way you should play. Take the man first, and you'll end up with a puck or a breakaway or a good scoring chance.
There's Dylan Mills. They go across. And that pass by Martin. Normally he is very sure-handed with his passes coming out, but Scarperud was right in his face to block up that one. 11 minutes and a second to go, and the Fighting Sioux have a 3-goal lead. Welcome back to Mariucci Arena.
Frank, I like what you brought up. After Ryan Beda, Jeff Panzer, and Brian Lundbaum, it really tails off. I mean, there's not a lot in their bullpen. So I really no reason for the Gophers. I mean, as far as balance goes, I mean, North Dakota has the better one line, but as far as when you look over 3 to 4 lines on each team,
but it's also not been that one line that's beat them tonight. Yeah, they got the shorthanded goal from Lundbaum, but Scarperud on the second line has a goal. David Lundbaum started the scoring early. Third line, he gets a goal. And I'm missing one in here. We got one from a defenseman, Travis Roach, I think.
Travis Roach
got a goal.
The third one.
Yeah. There's David Lundbaum off at 9:02 on the interference. And this interference right from the draw. Yeah, can't knock down a guy before he gets to the puck. 6th power play for the Gophers. They had 7 shots. The power play has not been dynamic. Where's he going with that thing?
I think he's trying to get back in the crease.
It looked like a slinky for crying out loud.
He smothered it outside the crease, and he knew he had to get back into that blue area real quick. There we go. Watch, he's down. Inching it back. I need to get. What's that game the kids play at hockey school? Home, he's safe there in that blue crease area.
Carl, you got away with one there. back of the line. This is Mills. And Hale with a hit on the far side. Lineback down, and Lineback back up after the puck, and Hale's got him trapped again, and it's getting a little feisty there. And we'll get another face-off coming up. Gophers down by 3. There's a look at Andy Kohler. And we asked Dean Blaze whether Kohler will start tomorrow night. There was a period of time this year when they alternated the 2 goaltenders on a weekend. Plays, and of course, it depends on how Gehring plays well. Kohler, Gehring will play again tomorrow night. So right now, Gehring has given up 1 goal, 23 Minnesota shots. And to be honest, he hasn't been tested as much, certainly as much as the Gophers would like. Here's Leopold. And Mills again. Leopold throws one to the net once more, and it's tipped wide. Back to the point for Mills. Minute on the power play. Mills shot. The tip in try by Westrom doesn't work. Westrom tried to get it to Mills, but it's taken away. Spiewak skates it to center, then throws the puck down the rink.
They can start their comeback. They better start her soon.
Yeah, we're down to less than a half period to go here. Leopold. And here comes Kowalska. Drops it. Miskovich shooting. Nice save by Gehring. Miskovich gets it again. Miskovich shooting. Nice save by Gehring. Miskovich gets it again. Miskovich. Kowalska. Back to Kowalska right in front. He got the tip in, and Gehring had to make the save. That was Troy Riddle battling for position in front. Miskovich once more, and as they roll in front, Gehring is there to cover up on the play. And there you have Troy Riddle, a little guy, battling for position where a big guy normally is.
Yeah. Very, very nice play. Matt Kowalska just 1 touch it to the side of the net, but again, North Dakota shutting down that area right in front of the goalie, right in front of the crease.
But again, the Gophers are getting their shots in the power play. Now they have 11 power play shots, 4 of them on this power play, but you still don't feel like it's an imminent threat here. You don't feel like Carl Gehring is in any imminent danger.
So they do some good cycling, but there's a time where you have to make that move towards the net, and they like to hang out in the perimeter.
Hard shot by Tate and a nice save.
Riddle's going to get all the ice time he needs. When he's working like that, Coach Mariucci is going to leave him out there.
Riddle fires, Tate on the rebound, pushes it in front and swept away. And just out of the box, David Lundbohm to get it. Lundbohm gets it to Beta, now heads for the net, and Beta's shot goes behind the cage. 6 shots on goal for the Gophers on that power play. They're up to 29 in the game. They've had 1 go in, and they're losing here 4-1. Riddle with the takeaway. Puts it in the middle, and that's taken away by Jeff Panzer. Here's a near steal by Kowalska, and Gehring comes out to knock it away. And we have a news flash here. Troy Riddle is leaving the ice.
After about 5 minutes.
How long was he out there?
A long time.
Spiewak. Panzer hits the line, and then his shot was steered away by Samardzija. Markey had a little trouble with the ice back there. This is Leopold. Now a nice pass by Anthony to Weibel. He scoops in, cuts in, and he shot it high and wide. Weibel to shoot it around. Spiewak after it. And Spiewak ahead to Jeff Panzer. Panzer throws a pass right onto the stick at the line of Scarperud. And DeMarkey behind the net. Even Panthers' Hail Marys work. Out at center, and it's knocked down by Hammer. Nice play by Linebeck to get it into O'Leary. He cuts and shoots, and a stick save by Gehring, and those initial shots from Minnesota are all outside the dots. And they have hit 30, but there's still only 1 goal on the board, and the Fighting Sioux with a 3-goal lead.
And here we have the shell check of the game. Got Matt Linebeck going to, he has to pay the price to get the puck out of the zone, and he is nailed by number 5, David Lundbohm from Roseau, Minnesota. Shell check of the game.
Here's Dylan Mills shoveling the puck back along the rail. Now he has to stand up there to Pat O'Leary. And Mills still battles along the boards. I thought Dylan's turned in a pretty good game tonight. Sometimes he's looked like the Lone Ranger out there.
Well, he's throwing his body around too, and I didn't mean to say that Riddle's done all of the checking, but he sure is initiating it.
Well, among the forwards he has.
Yes.
Riddle has been about the only forward to hit. Pat O'Leary played it off the glass, but oh, what a hit by Mills as he laid out Palmasino. Oh, they're going to call it for an elbow. And look at Mills beef it down at him at that one.
Well, that was just a good clean check. Anytime you got players over in the offensive zone looking down at the puck, playing with it, and the defenseman wipes them out, I mean, can't really get a guy that body checks cleaner than Dylan Mills. And
that's as clean a hit as you can get.
Yeah.
He didn't even hit him with his elbows.
Well, the ref called it from the other side of the rink on the back side. So you look here, comes in and meets him, just what you're supposed to do.
You know, you see Mills' frustration. Normally he's as cool as can be, but as intense as he has been playing tonight, you got to know that that frustration is setting in. And he didn't need a seventh man playing against him on that shift.
No. No, he didn't.
They got the elbow at 13-11.
Well, maybe we'll get one shorthanded. That's probably some of our better chances tonight.
Well, that's true. Fifth power play for the Fighting Sioux. This power play has gone nowhere tonight. Mazurek, a pad save by Samardzija, and now with a 3-goal lead, you don't expect them to really throw any kind of heavy artillery at Samardzija here.
They're just going to be careful not to leave any odd man rushes back on them or breakaways. Probably not going to pinch real hard.
Westrom trying to slow up Spiewak, and Leopold gets the puck out of the zone. Well, the Gophers came into this period trailing 3-1. You might think that among their objectives at least would be to win the period. And right now they're not even doing that. The only goal in this period was scored by Scarperud at 5:31. And here's Murphy dropping it back, and Westrom will pick it up. And now Senden runs into a check, and Mazurek. Murphy, and he couldn't handle it, so it'll be icing against North Dakota. As they're on the power play as well, the faceoff is going to be back in their end. And the frustration factor will set in large as the Fighting Sioux now are able, or very close now to stretching their unbeaten streak here at Mariucci Arena to 6 games. Gopher at 3-0-2 coming in this building.
Some of the Gopher players' legs have turned to lead at this point. Not moving real fast. But they should get something, build on something for tomorrow night.
Here's Roach over to pick it up. And to the Minnesota line, stripped of the puck by Miskovich. Back to get it, Paul Murphy. As they dump it in, Martin. Schneekloth now. Samardzija blocks it, knocks it down. It'll be taken away, and Senden shoots the puck down the rink. Less than a half minute on the power play when Miskovich in on the forecheck nearly took it away from Gary. Schneekloth gets it to West Gorey at center. He is knocked away by Mills. Riddle bringing it up ice, 1-on-3. And Schneekloth. What was that? Hauled him down with a stick, and play goes on. Panzer 3-on-2, they bring it in. Lundbohm, a pass off a skate, and it's batted out of the air by Kowalska.
Give him a rope.
Lineweber back to get it. Here's Beta. Beta bringing it in. And back out at center. And Panzer dumps it in. Fighting Sioux, 5 power play opportunities, have gotten 5 shots on goal. Pulled 1 on that last opportunity. And that was more of a dump in on Samardzija than anything. And we're not saying that that means much, only that it's pretty unusual. This team normally offensively very potent. They've got a 4-1 lead in here in this game, but they haven't needed the power play tonight. Here's O'Leary, and he'll play it in.
Probably one of the bigger differences between these two clubs is that North Dakota doesn't depend as much on their power play for their scoring, where the Gophers really do.
Boy, Matt Linebeck came across with a belt-high swing with his stick. I thought he made contact there, but got away without it. Here's an icing against the Golden Gophers. All right, we'll take a break. 3.5 minutes to go here in regulation time. Three and a half to go in this one. And Mills over to get it. And then it is fired back in by Palmasino. And Leopold after it. And they'll wait for it.
North Dakota's happy just ragging it, keeping the puck in deep, killing time, killing seconds.
Now Grant Patali from center ice, and Filling checks him as he dumps it in, and did so before he crossed the red center line. Well, the Fighting Sioux scored early in this one at 2:20, and that one by David Lundbohm made Minnesota play catch up. They were only able to tie a minute and a half later when Aaron Miskovich got his 7th. And then the shorthanded goal by Brian Lundbohm just halfway through the period seemed to be the most deflating factor of this game tonight. The Gophers have been almost nothing since then, and including a power play, which is 0 for 6 tonight, and they've given up a shorthanded goal. Reed, you were talking during our last commercial break about how this team lives and dies, specialty teams particularly, the power play. I'll show you some numbers to bear that out. The Gophers have won 14 games this year. The power play is 34%. The 5 losses, an anemic 4.5.
Ouch. Tail the tape. And I really, you know, and it's a hard way to play. I mean, it's great to have a great power play, but you know, you have to balance that out a little more than what that is.
From center, here's Hammer. And Leopold. Leopold again. They dump it in. Leopold goes after it. So as the Gophers are coming up here right up the middle, Samardzija making the save on Murphy. And he gets a bit of a cheer here from the folks who have been looking for just about anything to cheer tonight. And Pete Samardzija very good on that save.
That was a tough save.
He had a move, make a lateral move and be in position. He was there on time.
Forwards dream of being in the slot where he was for that little one-timer. Didn't get all of it, but well, I tell you, dam is starting to leak.
Yeah, we're down to 2.5 here. And Palmasino got a piece of the puck on the faceoff, not enough to control, and Tharp gets it out of the zone. Hale back to get it. Normally the Fighting Sioux will beat you in a blaze of glory and gunfire and lots of goals and a lot of offense. They were very workmanlike tonight.
Yeah, very smart, patient.
Had some here's a tip in try by Joe Martin. It goes wide of the net. He was pretty well covered. And Joe Martin bidding for his first collegiate goal.
Nice try. Can't believe they didn't call a penalty there, but I guess what does it matter now, huh?
At this point, yeah, that's one of the things you begin saying.
Coming down the ice.
It's a pretty strong move to the net by Martin, too.
Takes it across. He's busting to the net, but he was pretty tied up. Yep. Rubbed his blades on the side of the post. He better check his skate blades. Watch.
Well, I don't know. That Filling got to him until the contact with the net. Maybe
it was a little late.
Maybe no penalty there. This is O'Leary from Minnesota digging in for this faceoff. Kicks it, gets control, flips it into the corner. Wendell after it. Rattled there by Hale. Harp stepping up. And now from behind the net, the Fighting Sioux break out. Wes Dory in his senior year carries it in. And there is played across by Samardzija. Dory may be one of the unsung heroes of this team. He's got 4 good years out of Westray. He's played a lot of games for him. And the puck comes into the corner once again. Cat Mazurek. On pass to center. Dory will try to pick it up and go after it, but it's knocked away by Martin. And O'Leary takes a hit there from Murphy as Dylan Mills comes back for the puck. He'll force it around over to Linebeck. And now it's off the skate of Wendell, and Mazurek gets it. And Matt Linebeck again. And the Gophers in advance here, I'm sure, wanted to just finish out these final 5 minutes or so and get on with the rest of life and start thinking about tomorrow night, because they haven't been able to get even close here in the third period. 5-on-5, and in the second period, officially they had no scoring chances. Even though they picked up 9 shots in that period, most of them were from way out. Here's Martin to go get it with a half minute to go.
Well, it's going to have to change your effort drastically tomorrow night to beat this club.
Martin from behind the net. And here's Miskovich. And there are some Fighting Sioux fans here. Plenty of green across the way. And they are about to cheer on a victory for the University of North Dakota, which will win its 15th game this year against only 4 losses. They're 11th in conference play and now solidifying their hold on first place, which was only 1 slim point coming in. Here's our Relias star of the game as Carl Guerin gets his 6th win of the season, makes 29 saves, and holding the Golden Gophers to just 1 goal in this one, our ING Relias star of the game.
Well deserved.
Did what he needed to do, and he shut the door on the Golden Gophers.
Not a lot of work, but
nope,
was stable.
But there were a couple of chances he had, the Gophers had in close when this game was still close. At about a 2-1 or 3-1 count, he made some key saves there. And
I'm impressed with North Dakota's defensive skills tonight. You know, up in their rink, which is smaller, the Gophers could have had many more goals back in early November, and it was high-scoring affairs, lots of chances, wide open. And here, boy, they just closed the door. It reminded me of Michigan State when they came in here. It just wouldn't give them anything.
Very workmanlike, yeah. The chances in close, we talked a couple of times about how the Gophers were firing most everything from out in the perimeter. Those were the best, if any, chances they got at all.
And when they were shorthanded, they probably had better chances. But yeah, not the wide open affair that you might expect between these two teams this time of year, with a lot of run and gun up and down the ice.
And it seemed that as the game went on, the Gophers became more and more deflated.
Just can't help but mention Brian Lundbaum. I mean, he's up there across the country here. He's 21 goals in 23 games.
And right now, he is standing by in our studio live. The number 2 scorer in the country, Brian Lundbaum, standing by with Pat Micheletti.
Well, thanks, Frank. And Brian, big win for you guys tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely a total team effort tonight. I mean, we really had a solid defensive game, only giving up 30 shots and only giving up 1 goal, so we're real happy with the way we played tonight.
A different game than the 2 games previously played in North Dakota, where it was up and down. Tonight, more defensive.
Yeah, I think it was a lot more defensive game, a little bit more physical. We were really making a lot of smart plays. We were chipping it off the glass if we didn't have a play and getting it in deep. We weren't really giving any turnovers or anything like that, so we were really happy with our game tonight.
Was that the game plan going in tonight?
Yeah, our last couple games we had in that tournament we played in, we didn't play that solid defensively, so we were really trying to bear down this week and play solid defense down here.
You get the shorthanded goal in the first period, really sparked your team.
Yeah, it was a nice goal to get. I mean, Jeff made a heck of a pass to me, and I got a good quick shot on Hauser, and I was lucky to beat him, so that was a good start for our team.
Well, you get the 2 points, big win, maintain first place. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you very much.
That's Brian Lundbaum. Scored a shorthanded goal tonight, Frank, and played a great game.
Well, I may have erred a little bit, Mick, on the assessment of Mr. Lundbaum. Average-wise, he is 4th in the nation. He is number 2 in the WCHA. But if I'm going to make an error, I'm sure he'd like me to make an error like that more often.
You're close enough for me, Frank. That guy's a heck of a hockey player.
Yes, he is. Back in a moment to set up tomorrow night's game.